Alright guys, so I guess it's about time that we address the 137.5 million pound elephant that's in the room. If you guys have been watching the news at all today, you will know that the 49ers just signed Jimmy G. That's right, Jimmy Garappolo. They signed him to a 5-year contract. $137.5 million, $90 million of which to be paid out within the first 3 years. That makes Jimmy G the highest paid NFL player of all time. Now, is this a bad thing? Absolutely not. We can expect some great things from Jimmy G. At least for $137.5 million, we better expect some great things. Now, let's not forget that, when we brought Kaepernick on, we kind of had some of the same issues. He came out real strong, started at the end of the season. I mean, unfortunately, we weren't even in a position this year to kind of even look at the Super Bowl, but had Jimmy G been able to start a little sooner, I think without a doubt, he would have taken us there. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the facts and why I think that Jimmy Garoppolo's massive contract is a good thing, but then also maybe like a little bit of a nail biter, because I mean, let's be honest, he has only started 5 games with the 49ers. 1, let's just get the negative out the way. Honestly, the only real negative thing that I have to say is that it's too early. I think that maybe $137.5 million for 5 years, that's pretty much putting all of your eggs into one basket. Now, we do have like an excess of $100 million salary cap for the year, so, I mean, don't get me wrong, we have the space, but at the same time, whoa, that's a lot of money, and any smart business person would tell you that, okay, great, we won 5 games later on in the season against 3 teams that were already going to the playoffs. So you have to think, were they at their best? Were they playing, they already had their spot solidified, and then they were coming up against pretty much an 0-8 team, or like a 1-9 team, or 1-8 team. And you're thinking, I don't know, like I don't know, so I would have waited to see what he'd have done next season, and if he could continue that, like if he had such poise and the trust from the team, okay, then I could say, let's do this, give him a 5-year $137 million contract, and let's just full steam ahead. I just think it's a little too early for that. Alright, well, now let's look at the positive. Yes, we acquired Jimmy G from the Patriots after he sat on the bench watching Tom Brady for the past 3 years. And you might be thinking, well, he's a little cold. Except for, let's look at precedents here. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat on the bench and watched Brett Favre, and is he okay now? Hell yeah, he is. He's fantastic. So you have somebody like Jimmy G who sits behind Tom Brady, and you know what? I may not like the Patriots at all, but I don't care what you say. If you try to take away the greatness that is Tom Brady, you're stupid, because the man is a fantastic quarterback. And for Jimmy G to be sitting back and watching that, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better tutor. So yeah, honestly, sitting behind and watching Tom Brady for the past 3 years is nothing but building up confidence in Jimmy G as a starter, as a QB. Jimmy G went to Eastern Illinois University, and there he shattered all of Tony Romo's records. I know later on down the road, Tony Romo had like pretty much every game he was getting injuries and stuff like that, but honestly, Tony Romo was a solid quarterback. And so when he's in college, or when when Jimmy G is in college and he pretty much decimates all of the records that Tony Romo had set, again, that's just building up on your resume. You're jumping into the league. Imagine that if you're at a job and you're telling them, oh yeah, well, when I was in school, I got a 4.5 GPA. well, our last guy that had one, he had a 4.0. Well, this guy's clearly going to be more qualified for the job. So, again, that's just another notch on Jimmy G's belt. The fact that even in his collegiate career, he was super impressive. So now let's talk about how, after he got traded to the 49ers, what did he do after being traded? Well, let's see here. In the first 5 games, he threw for 1,542 yards. That is the most yards in franchise history that have ever been thrown by a starting quarterback brand new to the franchise. So in the first 5 games, 1,542 yards? Okay. I'm starting to see now why the head office is going, I think we got a keeper here. Not to mention that the overall aura or the overall vibe in the locker room has been nothing but, oh man, you know, I really love Jimmy G. I mean, he's a guy that makes you really want to, you know, get out there and play for him. I think it was Joe Staley who stated that, you know, when he's out there and he's protecting them, you know, he amps everybody up, and he really makes you want to get out there and play the game that you guys all love. So again, he's got that going for him. So yeah, I could see why, you know, going into the new year, the 49ers really want to hold on to him. His career as an NFL starter, he hasn't lost a game. He started 2 times with the Patriots during the whole Deflategate debacle, and when he started with the Patriots, he won both of those games. Then he came over to the Niners, he played 5 games, and he hasn't lost a game yet. I get that you might be thinking to yourself, well, you know, it was the end of the season. You know, he kind of came in here. Still doesn't take away from the fact that the first 2 games for the Patriots, you know, he won. So with a winning record of 7-0, you're looking at a quarterback again who did that. You know, I believe it was also Aaron Rodgers, but I could be wrong on that. I might have my facts mixed up there. All I know is that if I'm sitting up in the head office and I have a quarterback that's throwing for over 1,542 yards in the first 5 games, most in franchise history, I have a guy coming out of college, well, not coming out of college, but you know, while he was in college, smashing superstar quarterback records. If I have a guy that hasn't lost a game ever since he started touching the ball first off, and a guy who pretty much all around the locker room everybody is adoring, yeah, I think I'd open my pocketbooks too. So while, yes, on one hand, I do think that the 49ers might be kind of like throwing all their eggs into one basket, you know, you take chances. You got to take some risk. Otherwise, you're just going to be, you know, playing the same old game that hasn't been getting us anywhere for the past few years. And so I think this is a really good move that they made. I hope it pans out. And I am really excited for next season. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what this man can do. I cannot wait to see the draft, to see the type of arsenal that they're going to put around this man so that we can, like, really be Super Bowl contenders. I mean, let's not forget that we have 5 rings right now that were, I think we got them all back in the 80s and early 90s, but we still have 5. Pittsburgh Steelers have 6, and the Cowboys and the Patriots also have 5. So next year, that could put us up to 6. Alright guys, well, if you like this video, you want to see some more stuff, whether it be 49ers or anything else, you know, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and until then, see you next season.